Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters Game Day podcast on Sports Zone Chicago. Halftime of a big matchup: Rams versus Seahawks. 6-6, Luke. 6-6 stalemate. Both defenses are doing enough. They're doing what they have to do in order to keep their teams in it. But man, I would have figured one of the two of these offenses would have found the end zone by now, but it hasn't been the case.
Yeah, it's pretty much a stalemate. I mean, it's Seattle's saw the stat on the broadcast there saying that Seattle's really shored it up. I mean, earlier in the season they were getting smoked, with passing game and everything. They brought that down quite a bit. So I mean, their defense has improved, but like you said, the offense. Neither of them really are getting going. I mean, I can understand, DK Metcalf, you got Jalen Ramsey out there, maybe that's a reason why that's going on. I've seen Russ overthrow like 3 people on some real deep plays.
Right. Russ doesn't normally do that.
Right. So, I mean, there's a few things going on. I mean, and it looks like Seattle has LA right where they want them. I mean, they're throwing passes, but they're either out of the backfield or they're 5-yard flats or, whatever. They're not deep. They're not very deep. So it's like a stalemate, but somebody's going to get a pick here in the second half, and it's going to change the momentum, and that'll be your winner.
Well, a big pick in the first half was that Jared Goff interception. Late.
But, yeah.
It was really late. I thought the Rams, they had a 10-play drive going, and then all of a sudden, boom, intercepted by Jared Goff. Jared Goff, much like Mitch Trubisky, dude, Sean McVay's catered to him enough. Sean McVay knows that you can't be lazy with your running calls. You really have to go and put a focus on making sure your running backs get enough touches so that your quarterback isn't out there trying to do too much and ends up making a mistake. It's going to be fun to watch the Rams and this and their running attack get going in the second half, because I feel like that's their catalyst. That's the thing that gets them going, dude. That's their go-to. And right now they only have 8 carries, 28 yards from Darrell Henderson, 4 carries for 17 yards from Jared Goff, who's your second leading rusher. You can't have that. Malcolm Brown follows him with 1 for 7. That's not Rams football that we've come to know. So I really feel like, look at 26 passes. So like I said, Jared Goff and Mitch Trubisky, you could compare them to more than you could compare Mitch to anybody from his draft. And I mean, Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. 28 attempts. He's at 15 for 26, 125 and a pick. But like, why are you throwing it? What's the point of throwing it? Like like I said, if you'd have thrown it one less time, you probably have, you probably don't have a pick. But let's look at the second half. You need to get those numbers up. Similar to what David Montgomery had, 8 carries. I know they got a 3-headed monster. I don't care who gets the carries in the second half. Just make sure that if you're the Rams, you're getting your running backs enough touches.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. I mean, then you got to keep Russ off the field as well when you do that. So either team. I mean, really, I don't care which one of them does it. Somebody's got to start running the ball to open up the passing game and get it going. But I mean, like I said, it seems to be that Seattle is the one that is taking the shots. I mean, LA is playing it pretty close. I mean, they're not stretching enough as far as I'm concerned. At least Russ is missing. When he misses, he's missing deep. He's not he's not undershooting the guy and letting a pickoff happen. But to me, LA is like, you got to stop playing 5-yard ball and start going 25-yard ball. And that'll back that defense up, and then you can get that running game going. Then you can suck them back down and go over their head. But I'm shocked that it's only 6-6.
Russell Wilson right now is 10 of 19, 84 yards. He hasn't looked great, but look at the other side of the football, man. You have a really good defense in the LA Rams, and you really, I mean, Russ can only do so much. Like I said, it's going to be a close game. Remember, I said I feel like it's going to be a game where it comes down to a Russell Wilson miracle, you know, and you get a late field goal to win it for the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. It's brewing up to be something like that right now. For the Seahawks, you know, it's kind of the opposite because you really don't necessarily have a strong run game. So, like 8 carries, 39 yards, in my opinion, for Chris Carson, that's pretty good. Like that's how you're gonna like. You need to get him some more. But I mean, if is it from one dude, because I know they have Carlos Hyde as well. But Chris Carson's the guy in Seattle. Mm-hmm. If you're asking me, Chris Carson needs to get more touches, and that's it. Like, I mean, you could limit it. The Rams, they have a situation where all 3 of their running backs are really good, and they could go ahead and any one of them could get the majority of the touches, and you could find success. Chris Carson is the answer for the Seahawks. I feel like I know you could spell him with Carlos Hyde, but get Chris Carson more touches in the second half, and I think the Seahawks are going to find themselves in a position to win.
No, I think so too, and the reason why I think the Seahawks may end up getting the best of this one is just because you know, Russell Wilson has missed guys that were wide open, and he's missed them deep. So I feel like, you know, eventually one of those is going to pay off. You know, the Rams, you know, Leonard Floyd, your buddy, he's having a pretty good game. He's got a couple sacks already. So
it's not my buddy.
Yeah, I know.
It's not my friend. It's not my friend.
well, he used to be.
I don't even know if he used to be.
Cue the Gautier song, somebody that I used to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Rams are doing what they got to do. It's just that I just don't feel like they're taking the shots on offense, and that's why I feel Seattle is maybe going to get away with this one, because I see them opening it up and trying to throw deep and trying to hit guys. I mean, there's no excuse. He should have hit Hollister down that sideline wide open because there wasn't nobody within 10 yards of that guy, 15 maybe even. So I look for Russell to start getting it going downfield. And if it does start opening up down the field for the Seahawks, then the route might be on, because if DK and Lockett and you know, we even saw Greg Olsen get involved too. So if all those guys start clicking, it's going to be a long day for those Rams, and they're not going to know who it's coming from. Is it going to be DK this time? Is it going to be Lockett? Is it going to be Olsen? Is it going to be Hollister? They're not going to know. And then you can fire the run game underneath that. So I'm guessing I'm changing my, you know, not score, but my outcome. I think is going to be Seattle, just because I feel like they're the ones that are taking the shots to put themselves in a better position. They just haven't hit them. They've just been off a little bit. So I feel like once they connect with those first couple, I feel like it's going to get them in the groove, to get them in the rhythm, and then they're going to roll.
Yeah, I have that same feeling watching it, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, man, it's really dull. It's really just kind of, it's really methodical. It's very slow paced, but like you said, the Seahawks look like they're the aggressor. At times it looks like they want to be the aggressor, and the Rams are right now. I mean, they're playing great. Like both teams are playing really good. Seattle, if you want to put anybody on top, I'll say give the edge to Seattle, because we know who that Rams defense is. But the Seattle defense, we saw who they were before, and they've adjusted and they've overcome some of their deficiencies on defense. I just feel like, and it's the vibe of it feels like Seattle. The vibe of it feels like a game where the Seattle Seahawks are going to find a way to win. Man, I can't say anything more about it. It's so far it's a good game. I mean, other than the Rams getting more touches with giving more touches to their running backs, and the Seahawks just following Russell's lead. But I agree with what you're saying of how the Seahawks can attack. I just feel like Chris Carson needs to be a part of that, one way or another, through the air or through the ground, one way or another.
Well, like I said, they start completing the passes down the field. That'll come. You know what I mean? That it'll open it up. It'll come. It'll get LA's pressure coming off a little bit. They'll have to drop guys back instead of put them up on the line, but it'll come. I mean, it's a tight game, and it's a divisional game. So I mean, that's 2 teams that have a lot at stake too. So I mean, nobody wants to make that mistake. Is how I feel that everybody's playing right now. Like everybody's playing, but they're just like, all right, we don't want to go too hard because we don't want to commit that turnover. We don't want to make that mistake and then allow them to come. Because I mean, this is for the division, dude.
Yeah, it's not only for the division. If you're the Seahawks, 2 wins and a Packers loss.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Packers and I think a Saints loss, and you're talking about number 1 overall.
Yeah, sitting pretty.
Number 1 overall. The road to the Super Bowl goes through Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge thing, bro. And I feel like this game right here, if the Rams don't go ahead and make it a point to take control, you're gonna find yourself in a hole late in the game.
Yeah, kind of like how Indianapolis got themselves in a hole earlier today against the Steelers and fell to the Steelers. Like, wow, I didn't see that one coming.
Well, they had the lead. They had the lead, and then all of a sudden, the blink of an eye, they're like, "Oh shit!" we let them back in the game. Yeah, those are the things, dude. Those are things like that. I know the Patriots. I know you can't really compare teams, but we talk about any given Sunday. If we're going to preach that stuff, then believe it. Believe it like it's true. Any given Sunday, believe it like it's true, regardless of the situations.
Yeah, especially leading up to the playoffs.
Right, regardless of the situations, you don't know how you don't know what's going to happen.
Ask the Browns about any given Sunday.
Yeah, jeez. And the Jets just go ahead and beating some Giants, right? Beating some Giants in the league, not the New York Football Giants, but beating some big contenders in the league on their way to losing Trevor Lawrence. Like, I honestly, this means they keep Sam Darnold, right? Like, I would imagine you try to keep Sam Darnold.
Maybe they bring in Carson Wentz.
Or maybe they draft a quarterback regardless, and are like, "Hey, this is our guy now. Here's the other guy."
It could be a complete quarterback carousel in the offseason because I mean you got guys like I said, Darnold could leave, Wentz could go there, Dak could leave Dallas. You know, we could see like a rotation. Like, all right, Darnold, you're out. Wentz, you're in. Darnold, you're going over here. Dak, you're going to Chicago. So and so, you know, what I mean, like you can just start seeing these quarterbacks just start bouncing around. And like I said, I don't want the season to end, but I kind of do because I'm having to anticipate like anxiety a little bit about what's going to happen in the offseason this year because there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen this offseason.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. Second half kickoff is underway. The Seahawks got it up to the 30-yard line. And hopefully the second half is as good as the first half. Maybe a little bit more scoring, maybe some bigger plays, you know, to bring in generate the excitement. But until the post, guys, I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. This has been the Basement Monsters Game Day podcast on Sports Zone Chicago.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.